wanted to find out where my family was from. I was about 17, and I was at a party with the oldest person in my family, my Uncle Lou. He was 95. I asked him, I said, Uncle Lou, where are we from? He told me, he says, we are from the Ukraine near Russia. I said, Russia, what was it like? He told me, he says, it was very, very cold. I said, cold? What do you mean? He brought out the clothing that he used to wear. He had it with him, and I'm going to show it to you now. He said when he woke up in Russia, the first thing he would do, he would put on 3 sweaters and 2 pair of pants, high socks, high boots. Then he would put this on top. It doesn't look very heavy, but it's made out of what you call raw silk. It traps and holds in the heat. He says what our family used to do for a living, we had a great big flock of sheep. He says sheep, they love the color red. You put on a red handkerchief or red belt. He says the sheep, they'll follow you around all day. I said, Uncle Lou, it sounds great. Land and sheep and a family. Why do we ever even move? He thought about it for a moment, and then he told me. Because of our religion, because we are Jewish, we are not treated with respect. Our children, they could not go to school. We are afraid of the policeman, the postman. We are afraid of everyone. I began thinking about coming to America. I was 14 years old. I wanted to come with my brother, Herman. Herman was 18. But many people in my village, they said, don't go to America, they'll never let you in. One old lady, she said, don't go to America, they'll never let you in. You will travel for 2 months, and when you finally get there, they'll send you back. Why? Because of that infection in your eye. Now, she was talking about Isaac from my village. Isaac, he had tried to go to America. Several months later, he came back into the village. His head hung low. He said, no, they would not let me stay. They said my runny eye is contagious with disease. Now, I have the same problem as Isaac. I have a runny eye too, but with me I do not have a disease. It only runs if I am nervous or scared or worried, so I did not try and go to America. Until one day, my own father, he said to me, he said, Lo, you had never been a very lucky person, but I think if you go to America, your luck will change. If you go with Herman, I know you will get through into New York City, and we will all come and live with you there as soon as you have a big enough place for us all to live. So one day in June of 1915, Herman and I, we left the Ukraine. We did not reach New York City for 2 months.
Why?
The trip, it was very hot, very sticky, long boat ride. Hundreds of people in the boat speaking 50 different languages. Herman and I stayed mostly to ourselves at the very bottom. It smelled very bad down there too. Finally, one day we arrived in America. Thousands of people just like us, all lined up in great big long lines, 6 across, going through the different gates. At one gate, they take your papers, stomp them, and push you through. At the next gate, they asked me a question in English. I could not speak English. They pushed me through anyway. Finally, I arrived at the gate that I was most afraid and worried about, the medical inspection room. I watched the people coming out of the office, all carrying their belongings. Finally, one person came out. He had a great big white X marked right across the back of his coat. He looked very sick. He looked very sad too. I could hear him. He was speaking Russian to the people he was with. I got up real close. He was saying, because of my tuberculosis, I must go back now to Russia, all by myself. I put my hand under my eye. Now I was really scared about getting caught myself. I walked into the medical inspection room. A man in a white coat, he pointed to a chair for me to sit down. I see there's a bucket of white paint on the floor too, and a paintbrush. First thing, he put a stethoscope on my chest. Made me open my mouth, say, ah. Took off my hat. He checked my scalp for lice. He looked in one ear. He looked in the other ear. And then he turned around. I thought, I passed the test. I put on my hat. I grabbed my coat. I started walking out. He grabbed me by the arm. He pulled me right back. He says, no, I want to look at your eyes now. I sat back down. First one, then the other. He made a note on a paper. He picked up the paintbrush. He made a mark on my coat. Look. Pointed to the door. He told me to go. I walked out. When my brother Herman saw the mark on my coat, he started to curse, cry. Curse his bad luck. Then all of a sudden, Herman, he looks inside my coat. He takes me by the arm. Now he's pulling me through the gate into America. I said, Herman, they're never going to let me through that gate into this country with this mark on my coat. He looked at me and he said very slowly, he goes, Simi salopi atu aden anes nazgo. What? All of a sudden, he hit me. What he was saying, I took off my coat. I put it back on inside out. You could not even see the mark. I walked right into the country, right into the door, right into New York City. Now I'm laughing out loud. And I remember what my own father had said, that I would be lucky in America. Now I have been here over 70 years, happy in America, but wonder of wonders, 3 days after I arrived, my eye, it dried up, it cleared up. I have been well ever since. Now that's how my own family got into the country. And my family is, and it was hairy for them. And all of us in this room, at some point, whether you come from Germany or Ireland or Italy or Eastern Europe or Africa or the Far East, all of our families came from someplace else, and there's a story in it for all of us. You can find out. You can probably start with the oldest person in your family. Now, in a moment, what we're going to do is see a movie on